lichdom.
So when Yi dies and becomes a lich, do the simulacra also become liches?
No, because they do not change.
So just the new ones will.
I like the inhale and then the silence afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I hadn't thought about that. I guess we'll find out.
Well, I mean, it would stand to reason that they would be liches, at least going forward.
It would.
I mean, they're eye constructs that mimic what you were when they were created. So, I would stand on the other side of no, they cannot become liches. Now, if you made one after the,
Yeah, that's what he's saying, is the ones that are happening after
you know,
we do this ritual, will they
well,
be liches?
you, or will it be your already made ones that make?
Well, aren't the clones making the clones though? So they shouldn't change.
The clones are making the clones, but they still need my DNA to make it me. They're just casting the spell.
I think they could create clones of themselves, but if they did, it would continue to have their HP.
That would definitely start making some retard offspring.
But they also don't have a tether point, so when they die, they wouldn't have a place to respawn at, right?
True.
So while they could be liches, they'd be the worst liches you'll ever see, which makes sense for Yi.
It really would.
I like this idea and everywhere that it's going. Including the possibility of them having their own phylactery and actually being immortal. That would just be beautiful.
That'd be horrifying.
Well, think about it. The phylactery
Amazing.
is part of you, so
Yeah.
cloning you should clone the phylactery as well.
God. My everything is taking 12 fucking years to load, and that's going on. You guys are loaded into Astral, right?
Is it just spinning right now?
It is just
Refresh it, see if it makes you log in again.
I've refreshed twice.
Oh, okay. Because it did that to me where I had to
Yeah,
refresh and relog in. So
It also made me relog in.
I just... Man. Wow. It's not just that either. Everything on my computer's taking 2 years to load, and I don't know what the hell's going on. My voice in Discord like lagging out a bunch, or
you sound fine for the most part.
wild. Ashel actually loaded. I've gotten somewhere. Sucks. I'm currently trying to load everyone in on the map.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I also noticed you had us all organized in a line here.
There,
Until
now I'm out
Urs
of line.
just moved.
I don't know why my internet. You guys are on the map of Faerun, right?
No,
Oh,
we're
Or are
on
you guys
Waterdeep.
in Waterdeep map?
Waterdeep.
we're in White.
Jesus Christ. They must be devouring all of my internet power or some shit, because Jesus Christ.
It's impossible for two people not to be in line with each other.
Okay. The good news is everyone's tokens have finally loaded, but I've lost my cursor. Holy shit. Well, I mean, I guess for the most part, we can get started. I don't know why my network is dying right now, but I might have to reset my modem, but I don't want to do that. Whatever. It sucks. I may not be able to pull up the arena map if we get to that tonight, but whatever. I'll deal with that when time comes.
We can use the powers of imagination if we have to.
I demand you share your screen on your computer and draw it on MS Paint.
Wow, you think I'd be able to handle the share the screen function on Discord right now?
I'll share my screen and draw it on MS Paint.
Why not just draw it in Waterdeep?
That's too clever. Alright, yeah. We're just gonna get started then. I don't want to deal with all this. So, just stop the oohs. Alright. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you guys just got back to a Waterdeep after your trip, correct?
Yep, we got our souls in hand and we were chilling in Waterdeep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we may as well start there. So Ragna,
Mm-hmm.
I presume she's gonna go off back to what she was doing.
Yep. Probably have a good
Um,
puke, and then yeah.
Okay. So that means for the two boys that's going to be committing to lichdom, I presume that'll probably be your main focus.
Yep.
Yeah.
We still need to divide up the gold from
Bastion,
the Hydra
do
kill.
you wish to attend?
Fuck yeah. You all miss this shit.
Alright. So, bringing up the gold from the Hydra kill is a good point. Do you want to deal with that now, or are you guys going to go and find a spot to begin the transformation?
Let's deal with the gold real quick so we don't forget about it.
I'll hand Urisk his share of 1,000 gold.
Alright. What about the rest of it?
Bastion, you asking for your money?
Yeah.
And then I shall hold on Ragna's and see. I'm gonna gamble it on her and see if she wins. I think that's what
Fair
Ragna
enough.
would want.
Okay. I suppose since you're doing the lich stuff, I probably need to open up the book about that now. Oh, God. It's loading so fucking slowly.
We end up kind of failing at the ritual, and then Ragna and Bastion have to kill us before we take over Waterdeep.
Be fucking brilliant.
Ah, fuck that shit, I'm out.
Like, either way, I expect us to get really powerful doing this. It's just whether or not we'll still actually be in control of our characters.
Or just completely fail. No? Either way, no more care.
Yeah, that'd be mighty unfortunate. Alright. So where do you guys think you want to set up this ritual?
Oh, hell yeah, just in the graveyard.
Obviously. Like, there's anywhere else in Waterdeep to do this kind of thing.
Nice.
You just DC.
Probably. Either that or he rebooted his computer.
Yeah, he put.
His internet just crashed.
Yeah, but he thinks the internet crashed. There he went.
He still lives out near Owasso, right?
Opposite side of Collinsville, out fucking nowhere.
Does
Oh,
he
I
have?
have a Snapchat.
Does he have Booney's internet?
He does.
Ah.
He just sent me sad boy TikToks.
He just had those ready to go. Waiting until good old Elon Musk gets all his stuff set up. He's gonna try and use that out there. Patrick, let me know where that sends you. I want to see if I did it right.
That's Dakota's house, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I've only been there the one time, but I feel like I recognize that.
I'd make sure the link works.
Yep, link worked.
Okay, cool. Because he lives out off 146th Street. Out there.
Little do you know, his kitchen crisis was him just unplugging his router so he didn't have to do the session.
Starting to feel like it. I would feel bad for everybody watching the stream, but who are we kidding? There isn't anybody.
Feels bad, man.
On the plus side, if anybody ever does decide it's worth watching, there'll be a nice backlog of content.
Alright, so there may not be any betting on Ragnar, but do we want to bet on his internet?
Ooh, baby.
Do any of you happen to know what his ISP is?
I want to say it was AT&T, but that could have been
I feel like it's 18.
his apartment, but that could also mean he just kept up with them. Well, I would play some bets on AT&T.
So
Well,
that's Spectrum, right?
I don't think so.
I'll look at their outage map over Collinsville and see if they got an outage or anything.
Specifically, if you go over to 146th Street, going east.
Well, as of right now, there are no outages in Oklahoma. There's a big ass one in Arkansas right now. Or actually, just several of them. But just about every fucking town. Yeah, Arkansas is getting fucked right now. But
Yeah, looking at. Apparently there is a small outage affecting 43% of customers in the Collinsville area.
Wow.
with AT&T,
Yep. I just went to their, I just googled outages in Collinsville, and this is the first thing that showed up was, is it down service? AT&T Collinsville.
But small at 43%?
Yeah, you'd think, right? Hey Cooter, who's your ISP?
He's
Oh, that's
muted or still dead.
His internet's a zombie. Not quite dead, not quite alive.
Oh, he fled the battle.
Okay, I see that it's loaded back.
Oh, hello!
Don't know
Who's your ISP?
AT&T.
Yep.
They're the only ones out here. Otherwise, I would have stuck with Cox.
Yeah,
And I have
apparently AT&T is seeing about 25 reports of internet outages in the Collinsville area.
I've seen so many AT&T trucks out here, like these last couple of weeks. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Drugs.
Hopefully upgrading the area.
Drugs.
Man, wouldn't that be great?
They ain't upgrading the area, you know damn well.
God.
They're just as bad as Cox when it comes to that.
So when I was resetting it, it put me in the virtual assistant thing, and I pulled up the app. It is like, does the outlet to which the gateway is connected have power? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, man.
They always got to give you the retard talk before they help you.
Which is fair. It fixes a lot of people's problems, because a lot of people are fucking dumb.
This is why I want Elon Musk's fucking network, because I'm getting tired of this shit. I never cared much for satellite, but now that I live in an area where it's actually beneficial, boy howdy do I want it.
Don't know how he's going to make satellite internet not complete shit, but I'm willing to see. 'Cause I was about to say, be grateful you're at least not country enough to be HughesNet, because this wouldn't be happening if you were.
It does appear, after resetting, just about everything is loaded properly.
The hell yeah.
Oh, the music has returned.
Yeah. Okay. When was the last time you guys heard the audio track in Astral?
That's the first time.
Wow.
No, well, there's been other times where I've heard it. It's just been quiet. We definitely didn't have it the last, I'd say, session or two.
Oh no, we've had it for the last several sessions. I'm just speaking of tonight. This is the first time I've heard it tonight.
I keep
Yeah,
that
I
as
just
muted.
didn't notice it last week. I had my audio low though.
I've had it on, but I also noticed, like, where's the fucking sounds? And then I was like, oh, it's... Fuck. I don't know, Alright. Well, assuming things remain stable, I think we'll continue. Now then, to the question I asked before everything just killed over. What do with the Lich?
Oh, we're going to the
Obviously, the
graveyard.
graveyard.
Okay, graveyard.
Like
My
there's
next
anywhere else in
question.
Waterdeep.
My next question, if you're going to do it in the graveyard, what time are you going to do that?
Midnight, presumably.
Yeah, I'd say evening.
Are you being serious about the evening?
Like, yeah, it's going to be dark out.
Are you going to make sure no one's around when you do it?
Just planning on it.
Just wanted to make sure.
I was planning on
That's part
having Bastion do some scoping out, making sure we have a place to ourselves.
That's part of the reason I was thinking midnight. It fits the theme and less likely to be people coming by.
Yeah, still trying to keep a nice perimeter.
Oh, hang on. Did my other stuff load after? I have to refresh everything. Oh my god!
How much area do you need? Could you just do it in like a mausoleum, or do you have to be in a pretty wide area?
I know how the ritual works, so like, do you want to know how big of an area we need?
If a mausoleum is big enough that you can draw the patterns, you could do it inside one. And I know some of those mausoleums are pretty big, so you could
So yeah, I
in
wasn't
theory.
expanding. We need like a massive perimeter. I've spent like one trip around the graveyard, like fully, to see if there's people, and then just like,
Mostly it's bigger than these fucking houses.
I know that's like some because a lot of those, some of those are monuments. Like CD5 is the Warriors Monument, CD4 is Merchant's Rest Tomb. You know, it's just some of those are like.
oh yeah, I was planning on one inside one of the mausoleums as well.
Yeah, Sebastian will go around, check for one that seems of reasonable size, given what he was described, and then we'll get him one.
Is Bastion just going to take off his whistling helmet and run along the wall for the perimeter?
That's essentially what he was gonna do.
Take off his helmet? What do you mean? It's a scare tactic.
We don't want to draw attention to what we're doing.
If I see people coming close, I'll like whistle the stick to see if they'll like, like the cries at the dam. Don't go in the cemetery at night. Also, I
Okay.
assume there's gates. I'll check the gates, make sure they're locked.
Perception, for those of you checking, especially you, Bastion.
Nope, I have to log in again, Bill.
Dude, it's been so tragic. I also realized. Oh, God, like.
Trouble.
I literally clicked
Refresh
spacebar
this
to open my
page.
sheet, and it's just like, hey, log in,
Okay.
bitch. Let me refresh. Funny.
Yeah.
They're in a wagon.
Audios, yeah. I'm freaking out right now. But 20, 11, 11. 80 people who were in there, you guys watched as they cleared out, and you guys don't spot any other people around, but I'm gonna make a check myself. Okay. So, you got the place to yourself. Did you decide if you wanted to attempt to crack open one of these tombs or monuments, or are you just gonna like go to the back of the graveyard?
I definitely want to do it in a mausoleum because it feels fitting.
At this time, most of them are closed and locked up, so you'll have to kind of break your way into one.
Okay.
Oh no, a lock.
Like, that's like the
Hold
least
on.
horrible thing we've done.
Pulling out the lock picks.
Oh no, we're trespassing.
It's been months. It's time to pick a lock.
I'll let Bastion attempt to pick it.
You say as you're getting ready to blast the lock off, you're like,
Yeah, essentially, like, I see him pull him out and I feel bad. So I'm like,
Holster the finger gun.
holsters, finger guns.
We do this quietly. As,
To be
I
fair,
have
Acid
not done
Slash
any
is a
of
quiet
my,
way to do it too.
Since I got proficient in the ability, I have not done. Not to say I put proficiency on my team.
also, for the record, it's been
Roll
over
whenever
30
you're ready.
days. We're at, like, 6 days, right?
Oh.
7 days?
10.
10, okay.
This will be after tonight, the 11th. So
I
Okay.
put a little bit of a flair on it. I don't want to even look at the lock. I'm just gonna look at Yi as I pull him out and shit.
and the little chain lock just falls off.
Voila.
Alright, works for me. It's a bit cleaner. We can lock up after we're done.
Show off.
Feels effective.
Good job.
Now in.
I'm assuming Khan's with us as well.
Unless you wanted to leave him somewhere, yeah. He is
No,
kind of
I-
important to this whole thing, though.
That's exactly what I was just making sure he was here. I was just gonna let him walk in first.
Fair. So, he'll walk in, he'll look to you and go, Alright. I'll go ahead and get some of the stuff set up. Go ahead and make the circle for the ritual, and then I'll be ready by the time you're done.
I give him a big thumbs up and a big smile.
He basically, his armor, he takes it off, and then he'll start setting things up. And while he's doing that, I'm going to need you to make me an Arcana check, and since I presume Will will also be doing this, Arcana check from you too, Will. You guys can't do it at the same time, but so as long as you reset the materials required, you can use the same circle.
27.
I'm really rolling crap tonight.
That's fine. You will basically do most of the work in making the circle, and Urus just kind of helps out. Since they're inside, since they're inside one of these tombs, or Bastion, you just gonna hang up outside, or are you gonna stay inside with them?
He'll probably do like a quick patrol, and then he'll hop back inside, just so he's not gonna raise any suspicion, and then just repeat that cycle every like 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm gonna have Core flying over the entrances, keeping an eye out for people with instructions to come alert me if somebody comes in.
Say that again, Will. Sorry.
I'm gonna have Core flying over the entrances to the cemetery with instructions to alert me.
Okay. Alright, so after you guys get all the stuff set up on your end, Khan will look to you and he'll go, alright, I'm ready on my end. Now, I will be drawing the powers of Null in order to help turn you all into liches. He looks to you, Yi, and goes, well, I know it is of no problem to you, but he looks to Urus and go, one caveat is after this, drawing the powers of Null, your soul will belong to him after you perish. Is that fine enough for you?
That seems very fair.
He nods. And then he's gonna kind of take a weird kind of sitting position, and then he'll go, now, which of you is first?
I'll do it first.
He nods and goes, it is still possible for this ritual to fail, and in doing so, you will die, and there is nothing we will be able to do about it.
And it happens, it happens.
He nods and goes, very well
I'll
then.
just see Null a little faster then.
So he begins chanting a few words, and then after these like kind of initial words, which he speaks in Draconic, by the way. The circle that you guys made will begin to kind of light up a little bit, and then he'll go, now stand within inside the ritual circle.
I'll walk in.
Be sure to place your phylactery in the center of it.
Put down my little fancyified hourglass.
Okay. Now. Alright. So. First ingredient. You got the money, correct?
Yep.
Alright. He will tell you to place that within the circle around the phylactery.
I'll start setting it down.
This first part, he'll go, I will begin the ritual now. I will tell you when it is your time to commence your parts. And then he'll begin the ritual process. And as he's talking, any gold or gems, I don't know if you just place gold, but gems could count too, if you had any.
I was using gems. I specifically bought diamonds for it.
Okay. The diamonds you have begin to kind of boil and melt, and as they begin to kind of melt down, it kind of absorbs into the hourglass. And then after a moment, you notice Khan's eyes kind of begin to glow this bright purple, and then he goes, "Now, it is time for the gilded skull. Place that on top of the phylactery."
Slap the skull on top of the phylactery.
He will continue the chant, and the skull will begin, like each of the gems gilded into it begin to light up, and it almost looks like the skull itself begins to animate as this deep purple glow emanates off of it, and then it kind of almost begins to crack, and light begins to shine out of it, and then it'll completely shatter, and all this purple mist will be absorbed into the hourglass. All right. So with the help of Khan, you won't need a base intelligence of 16, but I do believe you already met that requirement,
I'm
right?
at 20.
Okay. Will, what's yours at, just so I know future reference?
11.
11? Okay. Since you do exceed the requirements for this, it will make the general transformation easier.
Perfect.
Okay. So, then he will look to you and he will go, "Now's the time. Take a seat in front of your phylactery and begin the ritual process." And effectively, you're going to start enchanting or chanting words that you will already have known beforehand, but I didn't want to write out a bunch of fucking random words. So,
Right.
as you sit down, you will go ahead and start doing that. Your first save will be just a simple Arcana check. So go ahead and make one.
Here's where I start rolling badly.
Okay.
That is bad, but good thing for +10.
So at this point, everyone watching, Yi begins to kind of almost have this kind of aura begin to slowly build up around him. Yi, while you're in the middle of this, you're completely like enchanted right now. It's right now basically just you in this black void and Khan sitting across from you. And you continue the incantation as you will now need to make an intelligence saving throw. With advantage. Okay.
Oh, so 29 with advantage.
Yeah, I was about to
Jesus.
say, with Khan's help, it will be with an advantage.
+10s are amazing.
Yeah, I'm kidding. And needless to say that you smashed the DC on that one. Alright. So, for everyone watching, at this point, basically everything's lighting up. There's this purple hue around it, and while Khan's chanting, you guys don't hear this, but between you and Khan, he kind of looks to you and he goes, "Now it is time for the souls."
I'm gonna break out the soul of the Iron Scale.
You see as you break it open, you basically see the physical manifestation of the soul of the beast as it cries and wails out, and then it gets sucked into this vortex forming in between both you and Khan. At this point, for everyone outside of the ritual, you guys can't even tell what's going on anymore because they are completely enshrouded by this purple mist of almost lightning-esque nature. For you two, this this kind of almost void-like entity in front of you begins to grow and manifest. It's kind of refracting light everywhere, and as everything begins to swirl around you, it kind of implodes a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're being kind of surrounded by what sounds like screams, and then Khan will go, "Now is for the final step. one last intelligence save.
15 or 20.
20.
Oh yeah.
And since you're drawing the power from Null, you won't have to make the last check. And thankfully, and this, you're going to make a con save, but this, even if you basically fail it, you don't have to worry much about
So
it.
I'm not
This
gonna
is-
die if I fail this.
No, you have basically crossed the line. You're gonna complete the transformation.
That's
Okay.
good.
This is basically for afterwards. So, you and Khan's chanting kind of coincide with one another, and you get completely enveloped by the screams, the lights, and for everyone outside, everything kind of bursts into this giant plume of purple mist, and anyone who was basically nearby would have definitely both heard it and probably seen it. I don't know if you would care to double check at all, Bastion.
Why not?
Perception while you go and double check the perimeter.
Oh, don't you dare make me sign this thing. God.
You're
18.
good.
Ian.
There doesn't appear to be anybody around, so you're good.
It's just a hole.
Spooky,
Okay.
spooky.
So everything kind of goes quiet, and the mist slowly begins to kind of disappear. And eventually, Khan kind of walks out of the mist, and he'll look to you, Urusk, and go, "It was successful. You will be next. Are you prepared?"
Yes, I am.
And then he'll turn, and that is when, at the moment, all you see is the hourglass just sitting on the ritual spot. Khan will pick it up. He will turn, and he will walk over and like basically set it down next to the door, and he'll go, "It will take him a small amount of time before he is able to reform himself. Now, let us begin your part of the ritual." And he'll walk over, take a seat, and he'll begin the first incantations once you are ready. Or incantations once you are ready.
I'll get ready and put the strong pants in the middle of the circle.
Yeah. How big was that hourglass, Patrick?
I just made it like standard like desk hourglass size, so I say like
Okay.
maybe like a foot. I don't remember, like less than a ruler.
Yeah. And there wasn't anything fancy about it, right? It was just the normal.
I just had it like gilded.
Okay, okay. I thought you did, but
Yeah, like I had it gilded with like some skull themes and stuff like that, but it's not like I didn't have it like diamond encrusted or anything.
yeah. And Urus, what did you say yours was again?
The strong pants from Chadwick.
Those are some strong pants.
Well, there's some strong pants.
And they're about to be stronger.
Did you do anything fancy to them?
Not unless it's necessary for the ritual.
It's not. Your phylactery doesn't have to be really anything fancy.
Then no, just left them as they are.
Reddit says the ideal phylactery is a gold coin.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, now, he will begin the next ritual. You will place the phylactery, and after a certain point, he will then request that you surround it with the gold and or gems that you have for it.
Isn't this what we bought that one big diamond for?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'll put the diamond there.
Okay. After a moment, that will melt and absorb into the strong pants. And then it'll be time for you to begin the first parts of chanting, which means I need an Arcana check from you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Everything seems to be going well thus far. He will then ask you to also place the gilded skull on top of the phylactery.
And I'll do so.
This will be your first intelligence save with advantage. Okay.
3
Well,
13s in a
13s.
row.
So, let me. What the fuck? I
feel
really
like-
need to add con as the. What do you feel like? How
I
many-
feel like 3 13s in a row is either really lucky or really unlucky.
Guess it depends what you're doing. I don't know if I did not. That's right, I cleaned up better last time. I really need to actually set up his character sheet before the final battle, because it'll be a pain to have to not do that. Okay. Okay, well,
God, how dare you infect my internet?
dude, I'm sorry.
I've been DC'd for like 5 minutes.
Alright, you kinda... The process from transitioning to the kind of black abyss almost seemed to mess up a little bit. It almost seems like you hear an audible crack, but you don't let that kind of dissuade you from what you're doing. And through the help of Khan's voice, you kind of help focus your attention towards him. And he will continue. And eventually he'll finally go, now place the soul.
I'll pull out the necklace with the soul and add it.
Okay. It'll crack open, and
Wrath.
I was about to say, to which you will then see a visage of wrath getting sucked in, and the kind of black orb begins to form, and it turns into this kind of purple electric energy in front of you. And this will be your final intelligence save with advantage.
4 13s in a row.
Oh, no. On save. Wisdom saving throw. Dexterity saving throw. Strength saving throw.
I just love the number distribution here.
And a charisma saving throw.
Con and Charisma are the only ones I'm actually good at.
Now Khan gets to make the same checks. Strength. Constitution. Wisdom. X.
Okay, I got him.
Charisma. Okay. So the swarm of energy around you, it almost feels as if it's kind of rubbing up against you now. And then the next thing you know, it almost feels like hands start to grab you. And before you know it, you kind of get shocked out of your stupor and you are getting pulled into the center of this orb. And no matter how much you try to fight and resist it, you get sucked into it. So everyone on the outside, the area around you does the same thing as it happened with Yi Yi. And then after the dust settles a little bit, Khan walks out with the strong pants and goes, "There may be a slight problem with his transformation."
Am I back yet, or am I just
Nope,
not
you're
reformed yet?
you're just
So like,
you're
there's
not-
nothing I'm doing here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was about to say that is directed to you, Bastion.
I don't know what it's supposed to do. Did he turn into pants?
It is possible, or he may be lost forever.
Are we supposed to do something with the pants?
He shakes his head. Safeguarded until time comes to pass, but even then I can't say for certain.
Alright. Well, I don't really wear pants, so I'll just put them in the bag.
Okay.
What about Yi? How did his go?
He looks over to the hourglass and goes, "Perhaps we can take him back to the inn. Given, I say, a few more hours, he should reform."
Okay. That sounds like a plan to me.
He'll grab the hourglass and he'll walk out, look to you, spread his wings, says, "I'll meet you there," and fly off.
Ripurus.
Hey.
He died doing what he loved.
Put my helmet back on and then I'm off.
This was always a possibility.
This man
okay with that.
may not have meant it to be a challenge, but he made it a challenge. I shall beat him.
I don't think Khan's probably fast, but I think too much shit can outrun Bastion at this point.
Are you running or are you flying? Gliding.
He took to the sky, so I'll stick to the ground for as much as I can. Because
You'll
he
beat
was-
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're gonna. Even with him flying, you're gonna beat him. He'll, like, find his way back to the inn, and he'll see you there, and he just goes, and walk in, reforming his armor over himself so people don't get too freaked out.
Yes. Meanwhile, I ran that whole distance with a screaming helmet on, and he's worried about freaking people out.
He'll make his way back up into the room, and
At this point, there's now 22 Yees.
I was about to say he'll walk into a bunch of yee-yees.
Oh, God.
Yeah! Yeah!
The one yee-yee in the corner just...
Hey! Hey, deity!
I'm either gonna try and find Urith's room, or if he doesn't already have a room that he'd paid for out, then I'll just go into the EE room. I'm gonna put the pants on the bed.
Okay. You'll put the pants on the bed in Yi's room. Khan will set it down, the hourglass on a table, and then he'll just take a seat and wait. While he's sitting there, he looks around at all the Yis and goes, "Options."
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree.
After basically an hour, Yi, all this time, to you, it has felt like you have just been floating in this black abyss. And then suddenly, it's almost as if this portal opens up in front of you. And you start moving towards it. Whether you want to or not, it's like compelling you to move towards it. And then the
Right.
next thing you know, everyone in the room, you see this skeletal version of a kobold form in front of them. And then the flesh begins to wrap around it, and thus he is now back into the world of the living. Khan will look to you and goes, "Congratulations. You have entered the first stage of lichdom."
Holy shit, we did it! I finally did it! And I'm gonna jump up for a high five, full force.
Full force?
Full force.
Strength?
This is gonna break my arm, and I'm okay with it.
Ah, it's okay. He rolled pretty low. He's taking it easy on you.
Saving throw or regular?
Regular, just to check. If you want to... Pathetic. So, despite him taking it easy on you, you kind of go, "Oh God!"
Wow, worth it! I'm so excited. Where's Urus?
I was wondering when that was gonna click in your
He-
brain.
He goes, "The ritual did not fully complete. It is possible he may be lost forever."
He turned into pants.
Is there anything I can do about that?
He shakes his head. "It is possible he could return, but even that could have some dire consequences."
And I'm assuming resurrection spells are way past this point.
He nods. He goes, "There's basically nothing to resurrect anymore."
So we're waiting?
He nods. "It could be days. But if he doesn't return in a week's time, then he is most certainly lost."
Well, I hope for the best, and I guess we, cross our fingers. I'm gonna put my hand on the pants.
Just... Meanwhile, one Yee in the background. "I like those pants."
I like those pants too, buddy. I like these pants too.
I'd like to believe that wherever Risk's soul is, he senses Yee's presence.
Alright, this will be the first one, but death saving throw risk.
Have to find the thing. Actually.
I have no idea what you said.
I had to find the thing.
Ah.
I do risk.
Starting it off strong.
To be fair, at least death saving throws tend to go in the player's advantage.
Tends to, but it's also like, it is like a 10 saves, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 10 and above.
So that's 55-45 essentially.
I didn't say it was a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Ursk, to give you an idea of what you're going through right now, you're basically imagine hell right now. You're surrounded by a swirling void of souls. You have no idea where you're at, what the hell this is, but it is not pleasant.
Luckily, I have fire resistance.
So the next day will come, the morning sun will rise, and Ragnar's out, puking, fighting, running, the norm. For the next, basically, week, which this will be the last week before the month is up and before Ragnar's arena fight. But what is the plan for you, Yi and Bastion?
I'm gonna. It'll only take me like 30 minutes every day, but I'm gonna start prepping some glyphs of warding onto sheets of paper and handing them out to the clones.
How long
I'll
do
spend
you
30
say this
minutes
will
a
take?
day doing that. But
Just one a day, or
two
like
a day.
just 1 30 minutes a day? Every day?
It's essentially it'll be like I cast the spell, short rest, cast the spell.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. And you'll be doing that for the next week.
And then I think Bastion had something he was gonna ask me.
Bastion?
Also, will go to discretion of DM, because as you know, Staff of Fire has to be wielded by somebody who is able to use arcane abilities, as it were. Say we spent some time, and he was to train Bastion on how to use said staff. Could it, in theory, work, or is it just stretching it too far?
So, staffs in particular are typically easier to use than casting spells on their own. So, with that said, I would allow, with proper training, you to be able to use the staff.
How long do you think said
So-
training take? I mean, got a whole.
Depending on your roles and your understanding of it, you may not be able to get it done in time. But you could if you get good rolls.
Fuck it. The stick's busted. It doesn't do anything.
What do you mean it's busted? It should be fine. Do you not use it properly?
Every time you use stuff, you just kind of point it at stuff. And
Do you know how to use it properly?
Sorry, shut up, Yi27.
Ye to the power of 27.
No, let's see, you point it, and then you have to use the incantation, and you have to harness the arcane power inside of it.
What's the magic words? Wizard
Oh,
man?
Depends
It's
on
like,
what
yes.
spell.
Well, I don't know what it do.
Fine, hold on.
I just
And
thought it'd
could I,
be
like,
neat.
attune to the staff, essentially, in an hour?
Yeah.
I'll attune to it so I can then get a better understanding of it myself. And then start explaining the staff to him.
Okay. You would do so.
So you do it like that.
I see. I'll take it from him, attune to it, and I'll try and do it like that.
Arcana check disadvantage.
I'm a very intelligent boy. This will go super well as soon as I log back in.
Now you get to log in. It gets everybody.
I got mine early.
Literally nothing happens.
See, I told you it's busted.
I'm gonna take it from him, I'm gonna point it, and I'm gonna cast a spell.
Alright, what spell are you casting?
Is it random in this room?
I'll aim it at the, it's a staff of fireball, right?
It does Burning Hands, Fireball, and Wall of Fire, but
I'll
As you're not,
aim fire. I'll take it outside, and I'll be like this. And I'm gonna, assuming we weren't outside to begin with, I'm gonna
you're
put
gonna
fireball
accidentally
in the sky.
fireball your room full of Yee-Yees and just kill all your work.
Hell no. For some reason I figured we were already outside since you pointed it.
No, he's just not the smartest user.
Yeah, and it's realizing me that we're
Oh.
in my room.
Okay.
So I'll point it towards
So-
the sky.
You're gonna
And
go
cast
outside and
fireball.
point it in the sky and cast fireball?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an intelligence saving throw before you do this.
Fair enough. He's a smart boy. I'm not.
This is always good.
14.
Oh god, is it gonna make me log back in? Don't make me fucking do that shit.
You
Oh,
got it.
no, I went through. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Thankfully, you passed the DC. Even though you cast it in the fucking air, gravity's a bitch. So, doing that's not a good idea.
I'll
You're basically launching a fireball into the sky, and
You know
it will come down at some point.
goddammit, that's a good point. Here, Bastion. I'm gonna ride. Let's go to a secluded area where we can blow shit up.
So like graveyard or like outside the city?
Outside the city, and I'm just gonna T-pose to have him pick me up.
And I'll launch us off, I guess, towards the east.
And I'll mentally tell Khan, I'll be like,
Khan
if
will
you can keep
follow
up,
behind.
try, but I'll give you directions.
He can fly. He may not be able to keep up, but he'll be able to keep track of Bastion.
Follow the
Alright, so you're
sound of
gonna
the
zoom
helmet.
yourself outside the city? North or south side?
Well, I guess north. Towards the Sword Mountains. And the past the upper downs. It'll just kind of like, trail off this way a little bit.
Okay. Khan will eventually make his way there too. You are now outside the city. Far enough where no one should get hurt.
And I'm gonna keep a lookout, see if there's any people, like, at the 60-foot, or... What's the range of fireball again?
Range of fireball is 150 feet.
And then it's a 30-foot explosion, right?
20 foot.
20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. I'll aim at about 100 feet, and we're in an area where there's, no animals, no people.
You'll do so. You will
Nice.
cast fireball. It'll explode.
See, Bastion, like that. I'm gonna hand him the stick.
Well, what's the magic word?
I just said it. It's fireball.
Fine. Point it, yell fireball. There's a fireball coming.
Check with disadvantage.
Be so good.
No. Nothing happens.
It busted. Maybe I should just hit people with it.
You could definitely hit people with it, but let's see here. Would I have in my original starting kit of wizarding supplies, I had a bunch of scrolls and shit like that. Would I have anything that would detail using magical equipment from way the fuck back when? If not, I have a different idea, but
No.
Okay. Here, Bastion, we'll go inside the city. We'll buy you a book on magical gear. And then you can start reading it and studying it, and then I'll help you.
Alright.
To the bookstore!
Back to the holster. I don't know where it's at.
Definitely, I don't either. I don't think I've paid for a single book. I just steal them.
So go ahead and give me another death saving throw risk. And you're going to bookstore, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Urus.
I keep rolling the same thing over and over again.
A lot of 9s today.
This is the one time a 13 would be nice. Alright, so you guys will make your way to a bookstore.
Gonna walk in, go. Hello,
You
hello.
shall walk in. An older man will walk over up. This, hello. What can I do you for? Anything in particular, or just here to browse?
You got any books about magical equipment and how to use them? Beginner shit?
No. It's possible I could have something of the sorts, but he'll point you over to a section and goes, that'll be about where you'd find it. Can't promise anything, though.
I'll look around, see if there's anything that seems relevant for the Help Bastion.
Investigation.
By the way, is there anything different about my body right now? A 30.
As far as you can tell, no, not yet.
Okay.
And no one, I should also specify, no one observes anything crazy
That's
either.
where I was also more concerned. Is my appearance still essentially the same right now?
Mhm.
But yeah, 30.
I will, and I didn't mention this, but I will say you do need to have your phylactery. You will need to have your phylactery within a close vicinity of you. Over time, you'll be able to go further away from it, but right now you're basically chained to it. That is one kind of thing that I did not mention. That
Okay,
is something
so for
you have
right
to keep
now,
in
I
mind.
have it on my person, let's say.
Yeah.
Keep it in, like,
So
my
basically,
pocket, my
right.
backpack.
Yeah. Basically, right now you'll have to keep it on your person, or very close by. Also, yeah, fucking nice nat 20, dog. I guess for that nat 20, I'll go ahead and say that you will find a. It's not a book just about magic items and how to use them, but it's kind of like a dummy book for a lot of things. But
Right.
magic items are included in that.
Ah, just what I was
It's-
looking for.
I was about saying it's a very bare bones section, but it might be enough to get Bastion to use it. It does have a giant warning on it saying, "Do not try with powerful items."
Yeah, but like I'm there to help him, so what's the worst that could happen?
If I accidentally detonate a fireball on top of me, I'll live.
And so will I, so it's no problem. So yeah, and then I'm gonna pull the book out and I'll be like, how much for this one, Keep?
He'll look at it and be like, "Oh, that. Just a couple silver pieces, and you'll be good to go."
I'll flick him a gold and be like, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Come again.
Walk out and I'm gonna hand the book to Bastion.
Luckily,
Start
I
reading
am
that.
a good speed reader.
Start reading that. If you have any questions, hit me up with them and I'll help you out.
Alright, sure, give me an hour.
And Bastion will go off to a suitable reading spot for Bastion.
The tallest building.
Tallest
By the way,
building.
Con, should I like
Okay,
feel
30
different yet? Or like... Does that just come with time?
In time. I will say, though, by the end of this week, you will most likely begin to feel different.
Understand.
Just make sure you keep that phylactery on you and hidden. It is now your lifeline.
Yep. I have an idea for where I can put it, when I can be far from it, but for right now,
He nods. Alright, so Bastion, give me an insight check while you're reading that book, and you going back to the inn.
He
Oh, dude, so many goddamn nines.
There's been a lot of nines. To put it simple, you're going to be spending a couple days reading that one section of the book, which will put.
We're dressed to the nines.
3, 4. Oops. It's the end of that week, but not completely. You guys are 15 days in, so the month's halfway over. A couple more days, and we'll know for certain Urisk's fate.
33 Yi-Yis. Are the new Yi-Yis any different from the old ones?
Yes. So, what was the, was it Frost or something that you said that you were making these clones out of?
They're ice.
Ice, yeah. As you progress that far down, you notice some of them are having legitimate deformities. Some of them are missing limbs. Some of them have frost and ice just replacing certain parts. And needless to say, the intelligence is dwindling greatly.
Now, have there been any significant differences from the ones that were made from after lichdom?
No, no,
Okay.
still the same. And
Understandable. Have a good day.
yeah, progressively they are actually getting retarded.
Let me know when they get to a point of they couldn't function.
You're on the cusp of that.
Alright, I'm gonna go a couple more days and then I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
As
So
long as they can follow very basic orders, we're good. But
yeah, after these
they
next
function.
couple days, Bastion, are you willing to give the staff another try after reading the section?
Yeah,
Arcana with disadvantage still though.
I'll go to the same spot outside the city.
Okay.
It's just fireball.
So this time, you do understand a bit more from the book, and it does help. You almost seem to cast a bit of energy, but it begins to explode at the tip of the staff, blasting you backwards. Who's got a fireball spell on the ready?
I have one here because I was looking at the staff.
Go ahead and roll it.
Neat.
You will take half that damage, so 15. As you're blasted back.
Well, shit. I must have missed something in the book. I'll reread the book.
Give me another insight check. And another death saving throw from you, Urs.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Not faster than
You're
I
gonna
am.
kill yourself?
The new race. We've found a way to beat Bastion in a race. I'm pissed.
I turned my 9 upside down.
What the fuck was that?
I
don't fucking know.
I don't. What?
I just heard a fucking.
Hey, the wells of the damned? Me too.
I think that was
Headset
Yee.
cut off.
You're okay, good.
I just started laughing because it's just the stupidest shit for to happen right at the fucking end.
If you fucking peeked it and cut out your mic.
I did also accidentally elbow the shit out of my desk, so
Well, that is the image I'm leaving you with, and after the week comes to a close, Risk does not return. To which Khan will say to Yi Yingo, "It seems he did not make it."
I know I'll see him again in the afterlife, but still sucks.
Will
He
you?
not. He does not go. Despite the ritual failing, his soul does now belong to no one.
Well, time to look for which backup I'm gonna play. For the
Yeah.
last, like, 3 sessions.
I was about to say, yeah.
Well,
So,
about 50 split on when that worked.
I wonder what kind of friend we're gonna make now.
he
Should
looks
I
to
go
you
out
and
recruiting?
he goes, "Do you need another friend?"
I mean, honestly, you're pretty much all the friends I need, you and Bastion, but I feel like our group has a defined number.
Well,
Has
fuck
it?
you.
His eyes kind of narrow and goes, "You do realize I am not your friend."
You're not my friend?
No.
Are we family?
He just turns around and walks away.
Oh, this is why Ragna's better.
Yeah, but you pissed Ragnar
You can't.
off.
You can't cosmically make up for that. She knows.
I was trying to butter him up, and it didn't work, and now I'm the loser.
Ken and Bastion are still friends.
So,
So champion.
despite Ragna off training, do you guys want to track her down and tell her the news about Urisk or no?
I'll wait till after the fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Don't wanna
after
mess
the
it.
hot damn. She
Yeah,
won't
don't wanna
go
ruin
for
the
half a
flow.
month. Fuck you, man.
Like, here's my thought process. I don't want to ruin her mental going into it.
And what if he does somehow come back during that time frame? We don't want to.
I got my fingers crossed.
This
So,
isn't
I
an
forgot.
attack time. Okay.
So I forgot that I had made Amy specifically for if this failed. Like, it's written into her backstory.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Well,
So
That
whenever
is-
Dakota wants, she just appears sitting on cross-legged on the strong pins.
hold your roll there, bud. See that backstory.
She
Is
came
she-
from a different. I think she came from Shadowfell, and she was trying to escape, and got teleported out by a wizard or some magic user, and used a particularly large expenditure of magical energy as a guide. That's how she homed in on Urisk.
Basically stole Uruk's spot in life.
We reverse summoned the guy.
Yeah.
Can I send it back?
You know, I was about to say, I can dig that. That's fine. But I'll let you know when that happens.
Oh yeah, I don't expect it to happen right now.
Okay. So
Like I said,
despite
I wrote
all,
her story for Urisk dying.
yeah. So despite all of this fucking mumbo jumbo, lichdom, people dying, Ragnar, you've been
Ready, let's
training
rock.
hard. Yeah, you've been training hard. You've been training well. One day, whether it be out running or in a tavern drinking one night, you will get approached by Joman.
Oi, Dwarfman, what's up?
Hey Ragnar, you got a minute?
I just got done with me reps. What's up?
It seems the word of your fate reached out to someone in particular.
Who?
He looks around and he goes, "You want to have this talk over a drink?"
This is pretty deep, but alright, whatever.
He'll walk you guys to the tavern. Or once you guys get ailed up, he'll look to you and go, Alright, Ragnar. So, the word of your first arena fight seems to have spread around, and you caught the attention of a pretty powerful gladiator and adventurer.
Hey, who?
Her name is Asin Swifthand.
Oh, I never heard of her.
He kind of shakes his head and he goes, "Hey, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have known for her if I haven't seen her before." So, I'll just cut to the chase. I won't bother spending all this time explaining to you how dangerous she is, but I'll just tell you this right now. She's in town and she knows about the arena and she wants to fight you in particular.
Well, she should have been there at the beginning. It's a tournament. She's got to earn her place.
He nods and goes, "Hey, that's the thing. The tournament's going to go on as normal, and some of the coordinators have already been talking. She's issued you a personal challenge. She doesn't want to be part of the tournament."
I need to check this bitch out first. See if she's all you're talking about.
He nods and goes, I understand. But assuming you win the tournament, and she'll only fight you if you win the tournament, she wants to have a duel to the death against you.
I always want to do it the hard way. Fucking have no love for life. She's worth it. And there's something on the table for me. Fuck it, I'll take her up on it.
He nods and goes, "Alright, very well. I don't know where she's staying around, but I can get some more details about her if you want."
She can. Not too hard to find. She wants to meet me in person. Actually, have the balls to do it. She can.
Um, he goes, "Here's the thing. She's real big about fighting and worth and all that trash. She won't meet you until you beat the tournament."
I haven't seen nothing of hers, so I'm not impressed. So she can impress me. Fuck her.
He smiles and goes, "Part of me thought you'd say something like that." There then. That's all I really had to you. Keep on training to win that tournament, and after you beat it, well, she'll have that proposal for you.
Hey, we'll see about that. But aye, thanks for the heads up.
He nods. I'll get up and go. Fortunately, I do have some duties still today at the Autumn Company, so I'll toss you some coin and goes, "Your drinks are on me for the night."
Fucking good, man. Yeah.
He nods. And I'll say, "Take care, right?" And then he'll walk out. Alright. So he's gonna get you some information about this person. In the meantime, that'll take a few days. I presume, just so we're clear for everyone else, is there anything else you guys want to do before we kind of fast forward to the end of this whole thing?
The only thing, Sabray's still waiting for her crossbow.
Okay. I did have that written down. That is still in the works. Anyone else?
Just a whole lot of fireballs.
I'm just waiting to exist.
I'm just kind of waiting to see what kind of power I get, and then sad boy moping. Urisk is dead. Khan's not my friend.
I'll
Yeah.
take Yee with me occasionally to let him watch me blow my face up.
I'll try to give him advice if at all possible, help out in any way I can.
From
And
this,
are they taking any gambling before the tournament, or will all the gambling be the day of?
it'll be opened up basically a couple days before the tournament.
A couple days before the tournament, I'm going to put down my bets.
Okay. All right. So just as a kind of last call, there's no other things you guys feel like you need to wrap up. No other personal quests or things you wanted to deal with.
Lichdom was pretty much my big goal.
Okay. And Risk is just waiting to exist. And Bastion, anything?
No, not really. He exists for speed now, and there's no real other way to go for speed. So. Fireball.
Give me 2 Arcana checks for you, Bastion. Both of them at disadvantage.
That is mighty unfortunate.
Yeah. Give me 2 Arcana checks for you, Yee. Just normal checks. Alright. You helped out a bit, but Bastion's still having a hard time with the whole staff thing. As a monk, it's like dealing with the same sort of stuff, but on 2 like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's almost worse than starting with nothing, basically.
Running so much easier.
It really is for Bastion. His brain just don't work this way. But
From my whole second astral self, I can't get one stupid stick to go pew.
Okay. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 30. Alright. So, 5 days before the tournament, Ragna, you're approached by Joman again.
Hey,
He'll walk-
what up?
Yeah, he'll walk up and go, "Hey, hi, Ragna. I got some of that info you wanted."
Alright, so what's the deal with this broad?
Alright, so I actually managed to see her myself as well, so I can confirm some of it, but she seems to be some warrior not from around here. In fact, as far as I can tell, no one really knows where the hell she came from. She's some kind of giant fucking lion thing.
Hey, you mean like she's a cat lady?
He nods. Hey, a cat lady, but she inherited more muscle than, you know. Anyways, she's one imposing figure.
I literally punched a dragon to death, so, eh.
He smiles and goes, "Hey, but she's apparently done quite a few things herself." He'll hold out a piece of paper and hand it over to Ragnar.
We'll look at piece of paper.
So basically, the piece of paper, it just lists out a bunch of stuff that she has gone out and done, people she's worked for. She goes, to be honest, I couldn't figure any of this out, but I asked Sabre for a little help, and she was kind enough to dig up some dirt for you. But this last year, she's done just about as much as you have and more. So
Well-
so basically the list, it just mentions all the way up to dragon hunting. It mentions that she's been mercenaries and helped fight in larger battles and skirmishes. She's gone around and dealt with a bunch of other fucking nasty creatures and people.
It's a shame of all this like this. She wants to die so fucking bad.
He nods and goes, although to be honest, despite this duel to the death, it's still more or less up to the actual coordinators of the tournament. But he kind of shrugs and goes, I don't see them saying no, especially considering how much he looks around and how much attention this tournament's getting. It's getting even bigger than before. There's people all the way over for Sword Coast, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter. Maybe it has something to do with the crisis going on, but everyone's real excited for this.
But good, because I gotta see the crowning of the proper champ. I'll deal with this bitch when it's done. I gotta focus on the now. Get my gold. That's the only thing I give a fuck about right now.
He smiles and goes, after go. Well, despite, no matter really how this ends up playing out, just know I'm rooting for you.
I'm taking it all the way to the end.
He nods. Then he'll go, right. Well, spend your last few days training well, Ragnar.
Oh, has Green Man gotten back yet? He's supposed to be there too.
He kind of looks back and goes, that's actually a good question. It would seem the only person who really knows what's going on with him was actually the dear general, but he's keeping it very confidential on what he's doing.
Oh, that pussy better show up. I'm gonna come looking for him.
He nods and goes, hey, I wish he'd be there too. I'd love to see you two go at it, but he shrugs. I just don't know where the hell he went. No one does, except for the general.
You fucking religious types.
In any rate, good luck, Ragnar.
Aye.
And he'll walk off. So, with that, Bastion. One night, whether you're kind of out messing around with the staff, you get approached by two guys, or actually, excuse me, you get approached by one guy kind of robed up, but his eyes are kind of glowing blue in the night. He'll walk up to you and go, ah, it is you, Bastion. It has been a while since we last spoke.
Yes.
So I said blue eyes. I meant yellow eyes, but just fucking ignore it. I can't read properly.
Sure.
Yeah. He walks over to you. He kind of pulls his hood down, and that reveals Gust, the Warforged you met well earlier on.
Where's
Oh.
Leaper?
Shut the fuck up, Engine. He walks up and he goes, I see that you have done well for yourself. I've heard from all over the exploits you have been undergoing.
Yeah, I guess.
You seem apprehensive.
Well, I'm just trying to fucking get this fucking stick to work and walk up out of nowhere. We've had a lot of people sneak up on us. Most of the time, not for good.
I do apologize. I didn't take you for a mage.
I'm not. I just figure, another tool in the arsenal probably couldn't hurt for what we're about to have to do.
I actually came here to converse with you about that.
How does this affect you guys? Other than world-ending shit.
Well, we've managed to round up a lot of missing Warforged like yourselves. Many of them do wish to return home, but some of them also wish to continue wandering around. And as such, I came as a sort of final ask. Are you, after you are done with the events here, going to want to return home to Eberron? Your true home?
I could return for a time, but I don't know if I would want to stay there for what would remain of my life, however long that would be.
He nods and goes, I understand. It is your choice. I merely ask you contemplate it. I also came to offer my aid. During the fight that is coming, I see no reason for me to assist. As of now, Leaper is preparing transportation to Eberron. And those of whom he is taking back home, he is under orders that if I do not return, he is to leave.
Would he be making a trip back to find you at any point? or is he just going to?
I can make my own way back to Eberron if it comes to that.
So could I.
He smiles. I see. Well, in any rates, I think I will be hanging around the city for some time. I am unfamiliar with the Sword Coast still. I was hoping you had some sort of residence to which I can lodge in.
We have an inn that we've been staying at.
He smiles and goes, May I then stay there with you? I can get my own room if necessary.
That'd probably be for the best. We have 2 rooms and one of them's full of yees, so
Wonderful then. I shall do that. Thank you. Well, I'm not much of a mage myself, but do you need help with the staff?
any help would be appreciated. Just keep blowing up.
Okay. Both of you roll Arcana with disadvantage. Wow.
That's
I didn't
also
add his
high as
modifiers. I was about to say I didn't add his modifiers, but those are still pretty good rolls for him. So for once, you actually managed to cast a small, just kind of fraction of a fireball. You basically go, and a little streak of flame will go out and kind of burst a little bit on the ground. And he just looks at you. Yeah, he just looks at you and goes, "Huh."
That was a squeaker.
I must admit, I wasn't expecting that, and it definitely was a squeaker. I heard you've grown quite quick.
Yes. It's been, well, a point of pride.
I know. One of the biggest rumors I've been hearing around is basically elevated you to quite status. You're almost like a legend, a living legend now.
Ah. Yeah.
I assume it's no part thanks to your staff and helmet there that you wear.
These are mostly just for decoration. Part
It's
of it
quite
does come from
intimidating,
boots
he
stuff.
says. Do you mind if I hold your staff?
The holy one or the pew pew one?
The holy one.
Sure, you can go.
You'll take it and kind of fling it around. The sounds of the dam squeaking out of it.
That's a bit jarring when I'm not in control of it.
Indeed. This is actually quite a wonderful design. Did you make it?
I did not. Our wonderful barbarian with us. made the
Really?
design.
Well, she's quite handy then. Did she make your helmets as well?
She did. She is very good at crafting.
Oh, wonderful.
I am not. I break everything.
That is something we both agree on then. I am not too good at making things either.
It's because we only have 4 fingers. We gotta have that 5th one. I don't know what it is.
Yes, I agree. The finger situation is always, I feel like, hampered, but there are others who claim it does not affect us at all, but I disagree.
I mean, it's good for basic function, but when it comes to finesse, it's a little bit tricky.
Mm-hmm. And as much like you, I dedicated my life to finesse. While I admit, based off what I've heard, I believe you are much faster than me now.
I believe when last we met, you were still a wee bit faster than I was.
He smiles and goes, well, I can tell just by looking at you, you're probably well beyond me now. You've learned much in your travels. It's impressive.
It's been a lot of time available to train and get faster. If you would like, we could race.
I would most certainly like that. Shall we race to your inn?
Absolutely.
Then I will keep up, he says with a smile.
And then away.
And
let
he
him
will,
do the stats.
he will attempt to keep up, but he is definitely not as fast as Bastion right now. But to Bash's surprise, he is pretty quick. So even though you kind of begin to lose him a bit, he does manage to keep up enough to make it to the inn with you.
Shortly before we get there, when he starts to catch up a little bit, I'm gonna grapple hook and just
Bastion almost hears an audible "oh" as you
and
fucking
then dragon wings glide down to the end.
you land, and then about a minute later he'll show up and be like, "Wow, Bastion, that was quite the contraption."
Yes, those wings were helped and fine-tuned by another person in the party. He might be able to assist if you want something the same. The grapple hook, or the hooker, as I like to call it,
I
was
like
not
that
by
name.
any of us. I think we would have to go kind of a shady guy. He kind of just makes things and wants people to test them out. I was
Yes.
saying
At Eberron, there's a shady man that I know as well. He has made other tools and gadgets.
oh, I'm intrigued to see his tools and gadgets.
He's
Whenever
actually an expert in modifying Warforged.
that would be very handy, as we have kind of just been figuring it out as we go.
Ah,
Kind of painful. The
well,
wings worked.
if you ever wish to take us up on our offer and go to Eberron, at least for a little while, I can show you the tour.
I wouldn't mind. Obviously, not a full return, but a short stay there to meet up with everyone again.
Of course,
But
of course.
we would have to wait until after this is all settled.
Oh yes, I understand. And we can arrange transport back here if you wish to return.
And I think I have a friend or two. Well, only one friend now. I think that would want to see this area. There was another, but he turned into pants. So
He turned into pants.
yeah, look,
I like to say at this point, you guys are walking up the stairs into the inn, and you just hear the chatter going on outside your room.
Oh, hello, hello.
Oh, hey, Yee, are you in room 1 with the other Yees or 2 with the no Yees?
I was in the room with the Yees.
You just hear one in the background go,
Unless-
I'm stopping productions.
Alright, well, if you could come out here, I don't want to jar this nice friend of mine with the Yee room.
Yeah, that's understandable. I'm gonna
Uh,
start wading through the fucking Yees.
you walk out, and then you see another Warforged staring down at you.
Oh, you're trying to clone now too.
No. He, he's from a while back. I'm not sure. I think you saw him
Oh,
outside
you.
the.
My name is Gust.
Yeah. I think you
I-
asked him for a sample.
I remember you. You had that other friend. He liked to jump places.
Leaper, yes.
What brings you to town?
I am here to aid with your efforts against the crisis going on.
Hey, that's helpful. We need all the hands we can get.
He nods. I am also here to take Basha back to Eberron, if he so wishes.
But I like
think
Bastion.
I may return, at least temporarily. Just to talk.
Yes, temporarily.
You're shady man. Yee, you're, I assume, welcome to tag along if you want on.
If
this.
Bastion vouches for you, then yes, you are welcome to tag along.
Maybe if it's a temporary trip, I wouldn't mind seeing new places. Assuming we don't die.
We shouldn't.
I mean, it's a bit harder for me too now.
Yeah, so it's all fine. We just once all this is settled, then we'll perhaps take a nice vacation over to Eberron.
Hey, that'd be nice. Slow down a little bit. Maybe some of our friends will stop dying and or turning into inanimate objects.
I figure we'll ask Ragnar if she'd like to go as well, but I don't know if the city of machines is really her, thing.
I don't think so. But we could invite her anyways.
Yeah, I was going to extend the offer because she is one of us. But
I'd offer to invite Urus, but you know.
these pants, we can just take them with us.
Oh shit, true. I'll wear him.
Well, are they your size?
Definitely not.
What size are the strong pants?
They were sized for Chadwick, and so yeah, they're a little bit big on Gigi, but you could probably make it fit.
Probably also have to cut a tail hole.
I don't think you'll have to cut a tail hole, just like make sure and bunch up the pants around the back with a slot for his tail to go out the top.
Big for you, so if you just bunch it around the tail, then it fits.
Oh shit! We got a plan. I'm gonna wear Urus.
Make it fucking sound like we skinned him.
I'm gonna put on the strong pants and I'm gonna. So, do we need to get you a room? I'd invite you into mine, but you don't want to be in there. Right around Ye36, they got real drooly on themselves.
I would prefer a room not full of yees.
Yeah, come on down. I'll get you a room. I'll walk down to the front desk and I'll buy him a room.
Now,
And
he might be better your speed to race.
oh, are you rather quick yourself, Yee?
Pretty quick, yeah.
Wonderful.
But I'm
Then
not
perhaps we
like quick
should
in the
race.
same way.
Oh.
All right, just pick a location.
A location within the city?
Yeah.
Let's see. We can run to the south end of the city and back.
Ooh, the Ambat. Yeah, sure, I'll make it work.
Ooh,
Wonderful. Are we going to do that now or tomorrow?
I will do it right now.
Good.
I'll pull out one of my glyph awardings I've been working on.
This shall be fun, I think.
Alright, so, south end of the city, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna cast teleport.
Just right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, are you ready?
Yes.
Set!
I-
Go! And I'm gonna run through the portal.
And he'll begin running.
I'm gonna
And then
wait.
he's Sebastian.
Yeah.
He begins running. After he turns the corner, he stops. You see him come running back, and he goes, I believe teleportation is cheating, so I'm not actually partaking in this competition any longer.
Yes, if you want to wait here, when he gets back, I'll tell him so you run out and you run back in.
Yes, that actually sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Alright.
After waiting about 10 seconds, 30 seconds, however long I feel like it'd be appropriate for him to get here, I'll walk back through.
Okay. Then you walk back through.
Hey!
Oh, looks like you lost that one, Yee.
I did? I didn't even see him.
That is unfortunate.
Because he's fast.
He must be fast. Might even be faster than Bastard.
No.
It is upsetting to me.
Yes. Yes. It is upsetting to him. But I am sure not to,
Yeah, I'm not really fast in the traditional sense. I just get my own. I just find my own ways around.
Well, your own ways of getting around is certainly quick.
So, I'm gonna crash. If you
Of
need
course.
anything, come wake me up.
Yes,
I don't
and-
recommend coming in the room. Just knock.
Thank you. And again, I appreciate the room.
Nah, if you're a friend of Bastion, you're a friend of mine. I'm gonna start walking off.
And after he walks away, he'll look to Bastion and go, he's a fun little guy.
Yeah. He's real smart, but he's one of the dumbest people I've ever met.
I was thinking the same thing.
Anywho, this is your room. I assume you don't need to sleep either, but whatever you Do I find it best to meditate during the time
He smiles
or
and says,
train?
"Ah, yes. Well, thank you very much, Bastion." And he will walk into his room and shut the door if no other words need to be said.
Nay.
Nay.
Two computers talking to each other.
Pretty great.
Alright, so
And then he runs back out and tries fireball.
Can we set up an autoresponder on Bastion?
please.
No, we
Kinda
need
like
an
an
out of
out of the
office
office.
response.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. An autoresponder, just a generic version.
I cannot be reached. Find Yiggy.
No, set him and Gus both
That's
to
Danzig.
out of office.
No, we said to take Rishnog.
Damn.
Before I wind everything down, which we'll do the arena next session, and after the arena, it'll also be transitioning into the final bit of the campaign. So, I will
Anything
say,
happening to me in the
I
week
was
it's been?
about to say, I will say, however, to you, Sir Yee of Yeington. Alright. So after about this week, you'll notice your physical body is kind of slowly beginning to deteriorate. It's to the point where you feel like your body's almost fatigued and you kind of hunch a bit more. But despite all of that, it's not like these adverse effects are really hindering your physical movement just as of yet, but you can feel it beginning to kind of set in. As you you begin to also realize over time your kind of bond between you and your phylactery almost seems to be getting stronger, and the body itself, it's really odd to explain. Your soul is within your phylactery, and while you're perceiving things from your body, you feel very distant. It's a very like out of body experience. It's extremely odd and strange to get
My
used
depth
to.
perception's kind of fucked.
Yeah. However, as such, because of all of this, you have also begin to understand that you have some new abilities at your disposal.
Yeah!
First off, as to being a lich, you have gained the Harvester of Souls ability.
Yeah!
This will actually be a very crucial ability for the time to come. So, you're essentially going to be able to tear the souls out of creatures that you kill, and you can consume it to effectively reinvigorate you and also help progress to the next stages of lichdom.
Okay.
The souls you take out, and it's basically it's a full-on action to consume souls. So you would have to
Okay.
spend it. Yeah, you have to spend a whole turn in combat doing it, or obviously just after combat. The souls will not be around forever, though. So you would have a time
Quickly.
limit. Yeah,
Right.
you would have a time limit on it. It'd be like a few rounds before they're gone. On top of that, due to your undead form, since your soul is already bound to the phylactery, if your body dies, you will disappear and be sucked back into your phylactery, to which you will have to reside there for some time before you are able to respawn.
Right.
So as long as your phylactery isn't destroyed, you're basically immortal now.
Let's go! Although I have
On,
to be close to it for right now, so unfortunate.
on top of that, your abilities themselves, your intelligence score and wisdom score are going to increase the longer you like the more stages you go through, you're going to get basically more smarter.
Hell yeah, dude. Can I get more smarters, though?
I guess that you're at 20, technically not, but nah.
There are a few ways to get around that.
I know there's a
rules are
few
there.
exceptions to the 20 cap. I just didn't know if this was one of them.
What's your wisdom score at?
16.
Okay. Basically, 22 is the new cap.
Oh,
Um, I will tell you when you get these attributes increase.
right.
But for now, that is where you're at. Since you need to start, and with your new understanding, start absorbing souls in order to progress into different stages. We're at the end of the campaign, which means you probably won't be able to get too far.
Oh, I have a great idea for this.
But
Oh,
I
wait,
was
they don't
about.
have souls.
Are you
I
talking
was gonna,
about your
I was gonna have
clones?
my guys. I was gonna have them keep cloning and then start slaughtering the retards.
In theory, you have 5 days before the arena. If you wanted to go out on a fucking killing spree, you could. The stronger the soul, obviously, the more it would help progress.
I know of
Um,
a lizard marsh to the south.
Jesus.
Oh, Sebastian, don't you give me great ideas.
However, here's the nice thing about your new soul harvesting. When you harvest soul, you are capable of regaining a spell slot.
Ooh.
You can also forego regaining a spell slot and just completely using that soul to help progress you to the next stage.
Okay.
So,
So basically,
That-
one soul equals 2 soul points,
Ye-
and you can spend
yeah, effectively. Or you can just get that one soul and also another action during or another spell slot during combat. Your
Alright.
phylactery, by the way, will have an AC of 18, and it
Okay.
will have 90 hit points.
Okay.
It is immune to poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical sources. So it is beefy.
Okay.
But obviously, if someone wanted to fireball it, they could easily knock it out.
Right. 'Cause they
It
can't
is
exactly save.
it is not immune, but it is resistant to necrotic, cold, thunder, lightning, force, and fire.
And how far could I be from it right now?
Right now, the furthest away you could be from it is 20 feet.
Okay. And now, quick question: if I have it like hidden on my purpose and I got hit by a fireball, would it also take damage, or is my body tanking it?
So, with it being on your person, if someone were to specifically attack you, you would only take damage. But if it was, for example, a fireball spell, and, well, yes, your phylactery will take damage.
Ah, I have a good idea now.
So, any spells that kind of are like an area of effect, they will affect the phylactery too if it's on your person.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what charges you need to get to the next stage, but just know that depending on the creature itself, like, for example, if you fought and killed a dragon, it would be much better than killing like 10 random dudes. So,
Yeah. I have a. I think I could do some. I'll put it this way: if I have time before we leave, fuck it. Why wouldn't I just go hunting off with Bastion just for shits and giggles? But like no more than like a day's travel away.
okay, yeah.
I just didn't know if I wanted to prepare something like that for next week. But essentially, like it's real shit. I'm not
Yeah.
planning like.
So as of right now, as you are
big
currently,
events, you know.
yeah, as you are currently, you can still be on public. You may get like a little remark if you're feeling well or not, but you will be good enough to be in public still on the first stage.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, so I missed the last things you said.
I was just saying that you will be able to be in public without people freaking out about your appearance. First
Okay.
stage, yeah, you're good first stage. As you progress, obviously that will change.
I was also gonna start like wrapping myself up in bandages. I want to go give myself a mummy look.
Okay. But for now, that's effectively how things are. The only other thing it will save is if your phylactery is destroyed,
I'm dead.
you're dead. Your body will crumble into dust, and your soul is now nulls.
Understandable.
But
And that's
you do
it.
have like double the hit points now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my phylactery does have more health than me.
The time frame, it kind of leaves it up to me. I haven't fully decided the time frame on when you come back yet. So if that time does come, I'll let you know, or hopefully I'll tell you before that, so you don't get yourself killed and be like, I have to wait a day now.
Right.
I'm thinking about just making it like a couple hours, but I haven't decided yet. Anyways,
I will say, I think raw, like an actual like lich from the monster menu, I think it's like 1d6 days.
I thought they had something specifying it, and I'll look into that. I might make it at the early stages you come back quicker, but in the later stages it will take you
Later,
much
because
longer.
it's I guess more power.
Yeah. But for now, that's where I'll leave your lichdom info at.
Okay.
It's 1d10 days.
Yeah. So the final stage is stage 4. So if you ever get to that stage, it will be that 1d10 days.
All right. Now,
But-
I have just one last question.
Go for it.
Do I have stomach acid?
Why?
I'm undead.
Uh-huh.
Well, you said if I have my phylactery on my person, what if it's in my person?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, yeah, you could put it inside of you.
That
You could
way, it
devour
wouldn't
it.
take damage from the fireball.
Yeah, I guess I would say that would be fair.
I'm just saying, like, if we come into a fight with a dragon that's gonna breathe on me, I'm probably gonna use an action to try to eat it.
Now you can swallow. I was about to say you can swallow it or surgically put it inside of you, since you do still have your flesh. But it's up to you.
I was planning on swallowing.
Okay. But yeah, that's
Isn't
where
the
it's at right
phylactery-
now.
Isn't the phylactery almost as big as you?
I mean, it's a decent size, but I'll fit it in.
He
Like
is a
half your
kobold. I was about to say he's a kobold though, so
They can unhinge their jaws.
I was about to say he can eat a lot more than a normal person could.
Yeah, but that's still like half his size.
I
This
mean,
is fair.
he can't choke to death, so
I don't need to breathe or eat now, so I can get buried alive like Bastion.
But do you have a gag reflex?
Ooh, these are a good question.
no. You're more undead now. Like food, by the way, food doesn't taste anything to you anymore. You don't need it first of all, but
Yeah.
stuff like that, you're undead, so you're built different.
So I don't even taste it anymore? Unlucky.
Yeah, no, you're.
Oh well. Worth it.
There is a limit. Like there will be a certain point where you will need to have a soul to sustain you. But unlike what Grim Hollow says about it, I'm not making you such a strict fucking time frame for it, to the point where you really don't have to worry about it too much. But if you don't in 2 weeks ever consume a soul, your HP will lower significantly to the point where you'll be trapped inside your phylactery until someone feeds you a
Essentially,
soul.
I remember when I looked at Grim Hollow forever ago. Essentially, my thought process was if a Yi lived through all this, I was just gonna pretty much have him like keep a soul in his phylactery and run around all weekend, and if it looks like trouble's gonna occur, then use an action to consume the soul.
Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna make it every couple of weeks, so it's not really that big of an issue. But if for
Okay.
whatever reason you guys are traveling for a long time and you don't come across anything, then it could become an issue.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
But that's it. That's all I got for you on this first stage of lichdom. I don't know what stages you're gonna be able to get to, but congrats.
We'll find out.
Yi has made it. I am going to end the session here. Next session we start off, we're going to introduce Will's new character, Amy. Is that how you pronounce it?
Amy.
Amy. And obviously the arena. That showdown will happen. Hopefully the internet doesn't die next time we do this, so everything will load properly. But
And then after the arena,
yeah, and then after the
killing
arena,
Tiamat.
it's Tiamat. And also the Bray will get her crossbow next session as well.
Kick ass.
That's it. That's all I got for you tonight, guys. It kind of sucked that we had such connection issues at the beginning, but what can you do, I guess?
What do you mean,
Drugs.
we?
Hey, Patrick was having issues too.
I did also have some big issues.
I still stand by we. That was only 2 of the 5 people here.